Blessings, friends. It's Maya here with an astro update. On June 6th, we have a new moon in the intelligent, curious, and youthful sign of Gemini at 16 degrees. Those who have planets around 16 degrees will likely feel the effects of this new moon the most, as well as the mutable signs such as Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. A new moon is when the sun and the moon are coupled together in the sky. It's a great time for seed planting and manifesting. Gemini is an air sign filled with witty, versatile, and communicative energy. This sign also rules the hands, the parts of the bodies, the lungs, the breath, and nervous system. On a positive level, this new moon can be informative, perceptive, clever, and adaptable. On a negative level, this new moon can be insecure, sarcastic, cunning, or prone to gossip. We will see the seeds that we're planting now manifest on deeper levels around the Gemini full moon in the fall. Thus, assimilating and disseminating information, local travel, local community, transportation, vehicles, siblings, extended media, as well as social media, as well as communicative conversations, or starting or juggling new projects and working with the hands. These are all themes that we could be tapping into during this lunation. Gemini themes may be at the forefront for many of us as there is a stellium of planets in Gemini in the sky right now. If the Gemini house of your natal chart feels overloaded with the stellium here, look to the opposite side of your chart to Sagittarius and see how you may be able to balance out some of the energies occurring. Overall, this can be a very lovely new moon for many of us as we have both of the benefics, Jupiter, the planet of optimism and growth, as well as Venus, the planet of love and beauty in Gemini. In addition to the ruler of this lunation, Mercury, being in its home sign where it's quite comfortable. We just had a wonderful Venus cazimi on June 4th, and this cazimi is kind of baked into this new moon. So Venus was exactly conjunct the sun under its beams and rays, and has become invisible as she descends into the underworld and prepares to be reborn as the evening star. So Venus is bringing her Venusian magnifying glass to the Gemini part of our chart to bring a new change or a plan of action for her coming new cycle. So it's a great time to set out some Venusian offerings during this time, to set positive intentions, all infused with creativity and flow and nurturance and harmony when it comes to our own internal and external processes that we too are undergoing. We may possibly see some struggles or confusion with the Venusian themes during this time only because she's invisible in the sky and going into the underworld, and she's also out of her exaltation in Taurus. And when she begins to separate from the combustion of the sun, moving out of its beams, we'll be able to gain greater clarity around specific Venusian topics and understandings. We'll probably get more clarity around that time when it comes to July. We have Mercury, the planet of communication, in its domicile, conjunct Jupiter, the planet of luck, growth, and abundance in Gemini, where its detriment. This can overall bring optimistic or upbeat energy and communication to a dinged-up situation we've been dealing with. We also have Mars, the planet of action and warrior-like energy, conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries. This can mean we may be taking action on something in a vulnerable way, or being action-oriented when it comes to tending our own wounds. We also have this new moon in Gemini squaring up to Saturn, the planet of seriousness, structure, and discipline in Pisces. This can bring some kind of hard wall or restriction or limitation when it comes to communication with others, authority figures, restrictions around new projects or information that could be bringing tension to our feelings and emotions as well as our ego and vitality. This aspect may be asking us to slow down first after this new moon in Gemini before proceeding, and that's necessary to reevaluate and clarify and narrow down what it is we're doing and communicating or embarking upon and why. About next week, following the new moon, on June 8th, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty, squaring Saturn, the planet of seriousness and limitation. This can bring restrictions or limitation when it comes to love and communication, harmony, money, and relationships. And then also on June 11th, next week, we have Mars, the planet of action, aggression, and warrior-like energy, squaring up to Pluto, the planet of power, extremes, death and rebirth, as well as transformation. This can bring difficulty or challenges, arguments, struggles of will, dangerous incidents, or even aggression. On another level, this could be taking action to make a powerful, transformative, and much-needed change. Overall, this Gemini new moon on June 6th is a beautiful week filled with transformative energy and new projects, information, and Venusian rebirths. The second week of June, do be mindful of any setbacks with Saturn, and with that Mars-Pluto aspect, being mindful of any arguments or sharp objects and even power struggles. Things will tend to clear up a little bit for some of us when it comes to the very end of June to mid-July. For now, see how you can reflect on Venus's rebirthing energy until she's reborn into her new cycle. Questions to ask ourselves during this Gemini new moon. What area of life is creating distraction or scattered energy, and how can we bring balance to this area on a mind, body, and soul level? What vulnerable wounds can we tend to and take action on? How can we be productive with our hands and tend to our nervous systems? What indecisions or superficialities need clarity and awareness? What blocks can we navigate at this time by tapping into discipline and structure? How can we keep calm when handling other people's or our own power struggles and frustrations? What new Venusian themes and projects are we undertaking at this time? How can we continue forward in the best, most productive way, even if we don't have all the information we desire? How can our local community or local travel, neighborhood, or extended family, or even short-form learning, aid us during this lunation? What new beginnings can we start in regards to vehicles, transportation, electronics, or social media? How can we bring positive communication to matters in order to expand our level of understanding and knowledge at this time? What area of life will this be happening for you based upon your rising sign? For Aries, this new moon in Gemini will be falling in your third house. This could be changes or new beginnings having to do with communication, local travel, extended family, siblings, community, neighborhood, and vehicles. For Taurus rising, this new moon will be happening in your second house. This could be changes or new beginnings having to do with one's income, how you make money, self-worth, values, and physical possessions. For Gemini rising, this new moon will be happening in your first house. This could be a new beginning or changes having to do with one's self, identity, physical body, outward appearances, and new endeavors. For Cancer rising, this new moon will be happening in your 12th house. This could be new beginnings or changes around the unseen realm, such as mental health, the subconscious, spirituality, dreams, as well as self-undoings. For Leo rising, this new moon will be happening in your 11th house. This could be new beginnings or changes around large groups of people, friendships, organizations, networks, as well as future hopes and wishes. For Virgo rising, this new moon will be happening in your 10th house. This could be new beginnings or changes having to do with one's career path, public image, leadership, authority, and achievements. For Libra rising, this new moon will be happening in your 9th house. This could be new beginnings or changes having to do with long-distance travel, higher learning, philosophy, religion, belief systems, as well as publishing and teaching. For Scorpio rising, this new moon will be happening in your 8th house. This could be changes or new beginnings having to do with shared resources, shared money, investments, inheritances, taxes, loans, mortgages, as well as psychology and deep bonds and sex. For Sagittarius rising, this new moon will be happening in your 7th house. This could be new beginnings or changes having to do with personal relationships, business relationships, contracts, marriages, negotiations, agreements, and legal documents. For Capricorn rising, this new moon will be happening in your 6th house. This could be new beginnings or changes having to do with one's health and work, employment, diet, exercise, daily routine, organization, as well as pets and animals. For Aquarius rising, this new moon will be happening in your 5th house. This could be new beginnings or changes having to do with one's creativity, creative projects, children, romance, hobbies, celebration, and joy. And lastly, for Pisces rising, this new moon will be happening in your 4th house. This could be new beginnings or changes having to do with one's home and family, property, real estate, emotional security, as well as ancestral lineage. New moon and Gemini blessings to you all.